Goeiemorgen. Good morning, fellow South Africans. Yeah, it's the old fart back again. Sorry, I'm here. Sorry to those people who want me to die and disappear. I'm still here. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just brushing my hair back. My uncontrollable hair. But the reason I'm putting this video together is because CNN, you know, I always call them the fake news network. One of their award-winning reporters has been exposed, and excuse my dog in the background. One of their award-winning reporters has been exposed for lying. Not just once, but many, many times. And these are the guys who refuse to report on what is actually happening in South Africa. Let me just read to you the comments I have here. German news magazine Der Spiegel has admitted that one of its top reporters has faked stories for several years. Now, although they're talking about Der Spiegel, this fellow used to work for CNN. And Der Spiegel is another very, very big German media publication. So, you know, they're all in the loop. They're all tied up with the same fake news. Okay, just get your head around that. Award-winning journalist Klaus Relotius had made up stories and invented protagonists in approximately 14 out of 60 articles which appeared both in print and online editions. He had worked for Der Spiegel for 7 years, winning numerous awards for his investigative journalism, including CNN's Journalist of the Year. You can see how CNN works, can't you? Relotius, 33, tendered his resignation after admitting to the fraud. Earlier this month, Relotius won Germany's Reporter of the Year, Reporterpreis, and you can probably Google this. I'll spell it to you. Reporterpreis. Okay. Reporterpreis. So, earlier this month, Relotius won Germany's Reporter of the Year honor for his story about a young Syrian boy. Since the report was written, it has emerged that all the sources were hazy at best, and most of what he wrote was completely fabricated. And CNN gave him the Reporter of the Year. The falsification came to light after a colleague who worked with him on a story along the US-Mexican border raised suspicions about some of the details in Relotius's reporting, having harbored doubts about him for some time. So, someone within the CNN, Der Spiegel, they're all tied up together, organization blew the whistle. He had credibility. The colleague, Juan Moreno, eventually tracked down two alleged sources quoted extensively by Relotius in the article, which was published in November. Both said they had never met Relotius. Relotius had also lied about seeing a hand-painted sign that read, "Mexicans keep out," a subsequent investigation found out. Other fraudulent stories included one about a Yemen prisoner in Guantanamo Bay and one about the American football star Colin Kaepernick. You know, that idiot who got on his knees every time the American anthem played at an NRL game. What a loser. What an absolute loser. You stand up for your country and your anthem. You don't kind of just go down on the knee and cop out. Anyway, so carry on with the article. The Spiegel, which has an online readership of over 6.5 million and sells about 725,000 print copies per month, admitted to the fraud in a lengthy article in which they said they were shocked by the discovery. I bet they weren't. They were right in it. And to Spiegel, apologizing for anyone deceived by Relotius's fraudulent quotes, made up personal details, or invented scenes at fictitious places. This is par for the course for the mainstream media, folk, okay? Just get over it. That's how they work. And that's why they're just completely ignoring what's going on in South Africa. It's fake news. Anyway, I'll continue. The Spiegel, which has... Okay, we've done that piece. The magazine added that Relotius had committed journalistic fraud on a grand scale. Now, you try and tell me that CNN right now is not doing exactly the same from an editorial narrative perspective when it comes to things like what's going on in South Africa. But they've just singled out this guy and, that's going to make it all right. This is the bullshit that's going on in the world today. Okay, so anyway, I'll just continue reading here. They apologized to anyone who was deceived by Relotius's fraudulent quotes, made up personal details, or inverted scenes of fictitious places. The magazine added that Relotius had committed journalistic fraud on a grand scale and described the incident as a low point in Spiegel's 70-year history. Now, there's another fake news alert, okay, because that's how the mainstream media work. This guy just got caught out. He just wanted to move up the chain, but someone actually outed him. So now they've got to try and make excuses. This is how crappy, what rubbish the mainstream media are today. Continuing with the article. Relotius worked for several other outlets, including German's TAS, CNN, Welt, and the Frankfurter Allgemein's Sunday edition. Relotius told Spiegel that he was deeply ashamed. He was deeply ashamed for his fabrications, claiming I'm sick and I need help. Now, the only reason this story has actually hit the media is because he made that comment. What he was doing was he was diverting attention from the fabricated news that's happening in the mainstream media and said, I am the one who needs help. You've heard that story about the emperor with no clothes. This is the perfect analogy right now. This is the emperor with no clothes. The mainstream media. Okay, and in concluding this little piece I'm putting up, Moreno, who has worked for the magazine since 2007, risked his own job when he confronted other colleagues with his suspicions, many of whom did not want to believe him. For 3 to 4 weeks, Moreno went through hell because colleagues and those senior to him did not want to believe his accusations at first, Der Spiegel wrote, in an apology to his readers. For several weeks, the magazine said Relotius was even considered to be the victim of a cunning plot by Moreno. Now, guess who the cunning plot has been pushed against? Christian people all over the world. George Soros and his open societies and his hold over a lot of the mainstream media is resulting in this sort of bullshit. Okay? Reading the article. The Guardian said Relotius cleverly rebuffed all the attacks, all of Moreno's well-researched pieces of evidence, until there came a point that did not work anymore, until he finally couldn't sleep anymore, hunted by the fear of being discovered. So he was happy to continue with the lies and the ruse, like the fabricated news, like CNN, the Spiegel, MSNBC, the New York Times, the Washington Post, all these lefty papers or media, until he got to a point where he realized that there was no escape, that the truth would come out. Then he apologizes. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But if he hadn't been taken to that point, he would probably land up as the editor of Der Spiegel, because he's following the narrative that the publisher wants. After being confronted by a senior editor, Relotius finally caved and admitted to the fraud. In his confession, he said it wasn't because of the next big thing, it was fear of failing. My pressure to not be able to fail got even bigger the more successful I became. So, understand this about reporters and journalists. Most of them are fraud. Okay? All they want to do is big note themselves, get the big story, and become heroes, regardless of the truth. And that is why what's going on in South Africa right now is being totally ignored. Now, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great day. And I'll see you Sunday night. I'll put the link down below. Remember, I'm meeting with Alice, who wrote the book My Turn, and it's going to be a cracker, believe me. Okay, guys, take care. And subscribe to the channel where I have my live stream, because it's a different channel. Cheers.